psychology. Educational psychology note, assignment. So the assignment heading is assignment title, integrate application of psychology educational organization. Integrate application of psychology in educational organization. Okay, so how you are going to apply education psychology in the educational organization. So that is the assignment title. So there are 4 tasks has been given. Each task has 100 points. Okay, so they will calculate the mark, and after that we'll divide and we'll give you marks. Okay, so 50% of not 50%, 40% of the course marks comes from this, isn't it? Right, whatever. Okay, so the task 1 says, what do you understand by the term early childhood education? So that's what we are doing. What do you understand in the term by the term early childhood education? So whatever the answer that you are writing, it should come born from you. Okay, it should come from you. What is your understanding about early childhood education? So that carries 20 marks. And list some of the reasons you think a society should educate its children. Discuss your arguments. Now here you can, this carries 25 marks. You can argue with your with the details, like former days I taught you how children has been treated in the past eras, isn't it? Did we do? We did,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yeah,
We did.
you did.
So I explained the child psychology, the emerge of child psychology, how it came, and what is the first thing that's when it comes to 19, 18, and 19th century, they try to educate the children. So early childhood education was understood. It's very important. Okay, so that's how everything came. So from several parts of the world, how they treated children and everything we discuss. So you can collect you with those knowledge, you can argue uh, for this education of its children. Society, the side from the side of the society, you can argue why. Okay, what is involved in the process of caring for educating young children? What is involved in the process of caring for the for and educating young children? So what do you understand by this? What is involved in the process of caring for and educating young children? So what are the things that should be involved in, what are the things that has been involved in caring and educating young children? So here also you can use the same knowledge and you can argue with this. From the history, their rights has been rejected. They are never considered. Even the dressing was not provided properly, and parents had tremendous rights on towards their children. So you can, the caring side, you can talk about these things, and in the education side also you can talk about things, and you can mention about the we discuss about this young adults, right? Those days they, child labor was really it is normal. Child labor is legalized those days. Now it's child labor is not legalized. So the understanding the emerges you can discuss. Okay, so there you will get 100 marks for discussing and explaining the history. Okay, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions on this?
Miss, can you explain again task 1.2?
Yeah. List some of the reasons you think a society should educate its children. Now, why do you think the society should educate its children? Okay, some of
Okay,
the
miss.
reasons. This is the reason, this is the reason, this is the reason. Now you have to list down some reasons and you have to give the arguments why you think because of this reason you have to educate your and you have to support your argument with some reference, right?
Okay, okay,
For
miss.
that you can use the child psychology history which I discussed with you in the start. Understood?
Yeah, miss.
Okay, good. Task 2. Shall we move to task 2? Any questions? Any questions?
No, miss.
Okay. Okay. So task 2. We'll go to that. Define what is meant by the philosophy of early childhood education. So here you have to give the definitions. Define what is meant by the philosophy of early childhood education. So you have to collect some definitions and you can put the references there and you have to come out with a own definition, something like that. Define what is meant by the philosophy. So the philosophy behind early childhood education, not early childhood development or anything, early childhood education. Okay, so you have to discuss some definitions. Why do you need to study the holistic development of children as an educator? Now, we we spoke about holistic development, holistic education. It means you are thinking about the kids mental, physical, social, cultural, everything. You think about a child's every background. You have to the holistic education in the sense whether he is learning, whether his mentality growth, how he pursue things, all these things you have to consider. That is called holistic. Okay, so holistic I have already explained it to you what it is. So why do you need to study the holistic development of children as an educator? So you are educator, why do you think now, even the Nalini's case, okay, you can think through that also. If the teacher of Nalini had thought about her in the school days, she don't have to go through this situation now, isn't it? So she has the teacher has only thought about the school education, whether she is coming to school, whether she is doing all her homeworks, that's it, not the holistic thing. So if you are thinking about the holistic development of a kid, that is very important, then you can prevent becoming Nalinis, any more Nalinis. Okay, you understand? Any questions?
Miss, you want to explain with the example scenario or else?
Why do you need to study? Why do you need to study the holistic development of children? So you can tell. If you don't, if you just only think about their classroom works, you limit your education to classroom and the concern to classroom. Their outside work, their ethical, their morals, everything will go. So there is no point you are developing a child who has no morals but he is educated. That is very dangerous. So when they don't have morals, right? That's what happening in the world, right? Those who are educated but those who don't have morals, or those who don't have respect towards other religions, they go and they become what? So that's what happened in the last year, 21st of April, isn't it? They thought that is a way to punish. So who are them to punish? They are educated. They know how where to get, how to make bombs and all those things. They are educated, well educated. You know, all those suicide bombers are educated in various foreign countries. But the moral, the respect towards other religions, the tolerance towards other religion is not given. So that made them become suicide bombers. Example. So this is why we need, as an educator, you have to think about the holistic development of a child, right? Only educating the subject is not enough. The holistic development, whether he is developing in his subjects, yes, good. But if he is not developing his morals, ethics, discipline, problem. Even a bipolar kid can study well, but if you don't take care of his mental health, someday he will suicide. So mental health has to be taken care of. Morale has to be taken care of. Discipline, everything has to be taken care of. Okay. The culture, respecting others, accepting others, showing more respect to elders, right? Accepting, moralizing the religious or cultural beliefs. Okay. So everything is important as educator. Okay. That's why the grading, only harping behind the grading will not help to for you to become a proper educator. So that's why 40 marks you have to write properly. Clear?
Yeah, miss.
This should be crystal clear by now. Okay? Right. What do you think are new roles for early childhood professionals today? What do you think are new roles for early childhood professionals today? Now, those days, our teachers, they took care of our education, morals, and everything. Now, the teachers has to take the role of the counseling, guidance, everything, isn't it? Now, those days, our teachers can teach us, but the guiding part, the counseling part is not properly done by them. Now, you have to take that role. So, you can discuss like this. You can have, discuss more roles. What are the new roles that you have to, the new days professional education professionals should have, right? You have to discuss that. That also carry 40 marks. So, total 100. Clear? Task 1 and task 2. Any questions? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Sure. Okay. Task 3. Okay. Task 3 says explain what Piaget meant when he referred to children as scientists. Now, I spoke about Jean Piaget in the class and I ask you to find out the theories of Jean Piaget and rest of other educationists, educational psychologists, isn't it?
Yeah, ma'am.
If you did this properly, you by now you know what is it, what is the theory they are referring to, right? So it's your duty to explain what Piaget meant when he referred to children as scientists. That carries only 15 marks. So you have to find out from your reference, right? Piaget's theory provides some useful guidelines to effective learning programs for children aged between 2 to 7 years old. What guidelines can you derive from Vygotsky theory? Now, Vygotsky theory also I discussed with you. Who know Vygotsky is a Russian psychologist. So Piaget's theory provides some he followed Piaget's theories. Okay, Piaget's theory provides some useful guidelines to effective learning programs for children aged between 2 to 7 years. What guidelines can you derive from Vygotsky's theory? So Vygotsky's theory, I'll share it with you, some journals, but it's your duty to compare, so not compare, actually think what is similar, what the similarity between Piaget's theory and Vygotsky's theory. Okay? Any problems? Any questions? Don't hesitate. Ask me. So I told you that day also. Sangavi, I sent you some reading referrals.
Yeah, miss.
Did you share with them?
Yeah, yeah.
And Vygotsky theory also, I'll share it with you.
Okay.
But you have to do the. I won't. If you want me to explain Vygotsky, I'll do it in the class. But the comparison you have to do. Okay. I told you assignment is not something that you can write it from the book. Whatever the notes that you got, that is for your explanation. That's why I always ask you to write down the lectures, write down, take notes, and do the references what I ask you to do. Okay. Now you know why it is, because you are not in school now. You are moving towards your degree. So you have to do your own references, own studies, and everything. It's better here because I'm doing and all your other lecturers do. In government universities, you don't have this much of interaction. Okay. So consider yourself lucky. Right. Any questions? So we discussed about operant condition and classical conditioning. Pablo, Skinner, reinforcement theories, isn't it? The dog experiment, everything we discussed, isn't it? Experiment, dog experiment. Did we or not? I'm teaching for two different places. You should tell me. If not, I have to tell. I have to explain you. But I'm sure I did with you. Amrita,
Yes, ma'am.
we did, no?
Yeah.
So, what makes operational conditioning and operant conditioning differs from classical conditioning, right? So you know both the theories clearly. Do the reference and write answers for that, right? What makes operational conditioning differ from classical conditioning? The difference between operational, I think I gave you the comparison too. Am I?
Yeah, miss.
Yeah, miss. Okay, so nothing for you to do more references. If you can do some more references for your understanding, and do this. Right? So 15, 50, and 35 makes 100. Okay? So the Piaget's and Vygotsky theory, you have to do it properly nicely because it carries 50 marks. Okay? Done? Any questions in this? Task 3? Any questions? I'll give you 5 minutes. Go through and see whether everything is clear to you. Okay. If there is no questions, shall we move to the task 4? Okay. Shall we move to task 4? Any questions? Come on, talk.
No, ma'am.
Sure. Tanya? Netmi? Tanushika? Tanya, any questions? You're sure about it?
Yes, sir.
Don't worry. Even if you find out anything difficult to answer or difficult to find anything, you can ask me. I'll send you some reference and you can find it from the net. Okay? So, but take this opportunity to learn more. Okay? Right. Cool. Task 4. How do humanist theories explain children development and learning process? So, humanistic theories we have discussed. So, you have to explain how the humanist theory contribute to children development and learning process. Okay, I have given you notes on humanistic theory, so you have to do. Right. Explain how the theory of multiple intelligence. So multiple intelligence also we learned. The theories, 6 theories we learned, no? Okay, it's about that. Explain how the theory of multiple intelligence theory helps you understand the characteristics and needs of children. Explain how the theory of multiple intelligence theory helps you understand the characteristics and need of children. So you know that you can explain what that means to you. Okay. So I can't give you an answer. It depends on your understanding and ability. So the final thing, what is defined as documentation in Reggio Emily, and how is, I told you that is not names, huh? And I have given you the references also. You can go. And I explained this before. Raju and Emily, and how is documentation used. So if you go through that, the purpose, how it came, the history, everything is there. So you can write. Okay. What is the what is defined as documentation in Reggio Emilia? It's about early childhood education and the guidelines, some of the guidelines which is used worldwide. The Reggio and Emilia. It's it's an Italian um, city, Reggio and Emilia. In those schools, they started doing some impose some guidelines, so which they have documented, and that has been proposed by the Parliament of Italy or something like that. I'm not sure about that very much. So you go through the referral, and if you have any issues, if you can't understand or if you have any issues, just come back to me. I'll explain. That's not an issue, but this is easy for you to answer. That carries 40 marks, so total 100. Okay, so all four tasks carry each task carries 100 marks. So you have given the assignment, final assignment of this module. Any questions? And the guidelines is given down, the font size, hard and soft copy, word process report, cover page should be there, declaration of academic honesty, everything should be there. Will be only marked for pass provided it falls within the extended deadline. The guidelines has been given. Instructions to students, what is the font size, how you have to maintain the CEDs and everything you have to clearly maintain, right? Margins, what is the margin that you have to keep? If you are giving reference books, URLs or article, you have to give as it is. And you know, you can't copy paste from net. You know that very well. Okay. Plagiarism is wrong, so don't do that, because the soon we get the soft copy, we have our system, we will upload it to that. The spider will find out each and every word and the sentence, everything from where you got it. So if it is more than 20% plagiarism, you are done. We will not even check the assignment. You understand? So don't do that.
Miss, want to put our reference or just URL?
If it is a book, you put the book title, author, ISBN number, publisher, edition, chapter, and everything. If it is, if you find it from a net, and you have to put the URL
Okay, miss.
and the date. And you read it and you put it. So in that case, you are referring a book, right? So sometimes it will be a blog, it can be a website, something. Sometimes it can be an article or journal that you found out from you are referring something from a article of Sunday Times or somewhere. So you have to put that. Okay. So those will not consider as plagiarism, okay, because you are giving the reference. But other than that, if you wrote something in explanation, if you wrote some, if you get somebody else's explanation and cut and paste it, then done. Okay. Any questions? So I asked to discuss. I'm just talking. You are not discussing anything. Do you have any issues?
Still not, ma'am.
No. Okay. It's okay. Just go through the entire thing and try to find references. If you can't find, just call, ask me. I'll try to get you some. Okay. Whatever that I found which is relevant, because I'm the one who is going to do corrections, check this. Okay. So I can't give you everything. Oh, understand? So you have to do your own findings. But whatever it is available with me for the moment, I will mail it to Sangavi. Sangavi will mail it to you. Okay. And the reference, I have given you a reference for counseling and also this Emily theory, Emily document. Okay. So don't get confused, right? You use that counseling and guidance, counseling thing for counseling and guidance. This is for Reggio Emily is for education psychology. Okay, don't get confused because I'm putting all the material reference materials in one mail and sent. Okay, both in one. So don't get confused on that. You all received the mails? Sangavi, did you mail to everyone?
Yeah, miss. Yeah.
Okay, I got your answers about this case study. Okay, but of course it's you all are not practicing counselors and anything, so you have some limitations in your answers. I can understand that, but that shows you need to do more reading. Okay, now make it a habit. If you are becoming a teacher, I told you, the teacher has to keep learning. A person who stop learning will not be a good teacher. So keep on adding to your knowledge, keep on adding to your intelligence, skills, and everything. So for that comes from reading. So do that better. Otherwise, I told you, students are much, much, much smarter than us, and they have the world in their fingertips. So we can't look like dumbs. We can look like we can be smart than them only by the experience. So keep doing that. Otherwise, we can't live in this profession. Okay. So read, learn, gather experience every time. So those readings, those understandings, and the skill will help you to do all the assignments properly. Okay. Okay. Anything? Anything else that you want to discuss? Right? So go through the document at least several times, at least 10 times, and understand it and follow all the guidelines, instructions, and things, right? And do the assignments and send it to me. Sorry, you can upload it as it says. Okay, you have time. Uh, the deadline is not given here, I guess. Sangavi, any ideas of this assignment deadline?
No, miss. I didn't know. Nishantan sir only
It
want
says
to put
issue date
deadline.
on April 1st, but
Okay.
I'm discussing it today now. So
Yeah.
it's not mentioned. So you have time, but anyway, you collect things on just it's better to do it fast because you keep it for the last moment and you will miss lot of things. So do it fast. Don't procrastinate. Okay? Don't push things to back. Don't procrastinate. Just try to act on this soon and collect reference so you can do it in a relaxed mode. Otherwise, you have to push, hurry up, and all these things, right? Those who don't have obligation to do this also do, right? I know some of you are not you are following for your knowledge, not for the certificate or anything, right? But still, you also try to do the assignment. That's better. Okay, Sangavi.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Any questions? Anything that you want to share or discuss?
Miss,
Mm,
I just want to ask you some suggestion.
tell me.
Uh, actually, this time I am teaching my neighbors' children.
Mm-hmm.
So they are coming and studying. They are twins kid, but
Mm,
they are grade two. They are studying in grade two, but
mm,
still they can't. They are one. I am explaining everything, but
mm-hmm.
they are not getting like they will do only that time. If I sit and explain near to them, if I tell one by one, only they are doing. If I am not there, they are not doing. So how to get them like to memorize the
How
thing?
old are they?
They are just 7 years old, I think.
7 years old.
Mm.
So the issue is they are not doing any work if you are not sitting
Yeah,
by them.
yeah,
Huh?
true. Yeah,
They are not doing things. Do you find any difficulties, learning difficulties in them,
no,
such
they
as
are
we'll say they can't understand the mathematics or
they are studying only English. They are studying in Tamil medium, but
mm-hmm,
even still they don't know to write ABCD correctly in that order. So they are getting
mm-hmm,
confused with the letters.
mm-hmm,
So if I'm asking in order, they are telling. If I
mm-hmm.
point out a word and if I point out a letter and ask, they are not telling.
So did
So
you take each letter and started talking about discussing about that? No.
which means
Are they writing words?
yeah, they are writing.
They can write words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quickly she can get. Boy is a little slow.
Okay. So you can slow
So
down with them.
okay.
You have to slow down with them, right? It
Mm-hmm.
means now if you take letter A today, and you have to only keep
Mm-hmm.
stand with A and the sounds
Ah,
and how it sound and how it can be used. You can go with
okay.
phonetics. Sometimes kids learn English better with phonetics. Now A has two sounds,
Ah,
isn't it? A,
yeah.
A
Yeah,
and
I
A.
I showed that also. Yeah.
Yeah. So only one letter a day.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
when they master it, go to the another
Okay.
letter. Then two letters together, like C and H is sound ch,
Okay.
S and H
Okay.
sh, C and L
Ah.
cl, like that. So
Okay, ma'am.
try to go for this phonetical sounds and all these things. Then they will
Hmm.
understand better.
Mm, I did only one class that they did, but if I'm giving the words like if the letters in not in order, if I'm telling to write in the correct alphabet order,
Mm-hmm.
they are getting confused.
Okay. So what you
So
can do is you can give dictations on that,
mm, I
right?
did. Yesterday only I gave that.
Take
Yeah.
13 before and 13 later,
Okay.
right? 13
Okay.
letters and work on that,
Mm.
and 13 later.
Okay,
Okay?
ma'am. Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Hold on for a second.
Okay.
Sorry, somebody has come and ringing the bell. Like nothing. They are doing fundraising. They can, which they can't do now. Hello. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
Amrita.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So you slow
Okay.
down with the person who is not uh, going fast. It's not a rule. Okay.
Yeah.
Both children, because they are twins, they have to do the same thing.
Hmm.
Parents might think it's good,
Yeah.
but it's not going to make any good to the children.
Hmm.
So if she is slow, take it slow,
Okay, ma'am.
right?
Okay.
Okay. So that will give a motivation also, because he is going fast and she is not. So you can motivate her by showing the other person,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? And
Okay, ma'am.
you have
Okay.
to work a bit more with this person, this small one,
Okay, ma'am.
right?
Okay.
And maybe they are learning now. You know the learning patterns also, Amrita,
Yeah, ma'am.
right? You know the learning patterns, so
Yeah.
you can you can see whether she is learning through looking or else by touching,
Or listening. Yeah. Okay, ma'am.
right? So
Okay.
try different things.
Hmm.
So it's a good experience for you. Try different things.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Fine.
Thank you.
Try different things. Right. Good. Anything? Anything? Anyone? Anyone else want to share or do something? Any questions on this? Okay. If there is no questions, we can wind up the class today by now. Okay. And if you want any references, you can just drop me a message. Right?
Okay, ma'am. Sure. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Cool. So everybody take good care, and
Thank you,
I'll
ma'am.
see you all. So both the classes are done.
Yeah.
Both the subjects are done now for the moment. But if it is necessary, I'll take one class in next week also. Okay. For the moment, like because guidance and counseling has to, we need a classroom session, so that is stopped at that point. And this also, the research method also need a classroom session, so I'm stopping at this point. But if nothing happens, if there is no sign of lifting the curfew, I'll give you the notes for research method at least next week. Okay,
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
we'll work
Thank you,
like
ma'am.
that. Right. Okay.
God
So
bless you,
take good
ma'am.
care. Take
Take
good
care,
care.
ma'am.
Do the assignment properly. Don't hesitate to call me for anything. It means only in the sense of your subject. Okay, don't call me for rice and sugar. I can't give, right? So okay, so take good care.
Okay, ma'am.
I
Okay.
hope everything will be now back to normal very soon. Take care.